Welcome into CBS Sports HQ. I'm Hakeem Dermish. We've got live coverage right now here on HQ. Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill speaking with the media fresh off his new deal, signed a 4-year, $118 million deal to remain with the Titans just last month. Let's take you live to Ryan Tannehill now.
Didn't really have anything prepared. I didn't know it was that kind of thing.
That's all right. We're good. John Glennon's got the first question for you.
Of course. Let's go.
How we doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. Good. Thanks for the time. Looks like you guys got a couple of weapons to add to the offense with your first and third round picks there. Wondering if you've gotten a look at those guys, any clips or any information on them, and maybe what your thoughts are and what they might be able to add to the team.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see them besides the clips I saw when they got drafted, but talk to Art about them, talk to Coach Vrabel about him a little bit, and really excited to have him. Got a really big player in the first round. I think he's 350 pounds, which is insane. He's a massive human being, but glad to have him in front of me. Help him keep me upright and open up holes for the back. So really excited about that. And I think we got a weapon in the third round there. A guy that we can move around, put him outside. I think he returns kicks and has been explosive on special teams as well. But a guy we can use as a weapon, as a receiver, out of the backfield and split him out and really just kind of create matchups by moving him around.
Teresa Walker.
Hi, Ryan. This virtual offseason program and this whole offseason that's so unusual and no answers at this moment, how much does it help this team that you, Henry, there's so much of a core of this Titans team that just a few weeks ago was playing for an AFC championship game. Does that help this team maybe try to pick up and keep things together until there is football?
Yeah, no doubt. I think obviously every year is a new year, and what you did last year doesn't really matter this year, but being able to bring back the number of guys that we have coming back, so many guys returning back on offense, guys that know the offense, that have been in it for multiple years and can just kind of build on what we did last year. So, yeah, I think it definitely helps us back, especially in this type of situation when we're not able to get in the building and spend a lot of time around each other and the coaching staff. But guys that are already kind of familiar with it, now we're just able to go a little bit more in depth, in detail, on a lot of things that we did last year and make small adjustments that can only make us better.
Jim Wyatt.
Ryan, good to hear from you. Thanks for doing this. I asked Kevin Byard the same thing, but what's a day in the life of Ryan Tannehill during this stretch, during kind of the quarantine?
So it's not so exciting. Usually in the morning, get up a couple days a week, I'll go throw. I'm down here. John New's down here, so I go throw with John New a couple days a week down here in South Florida. Get a workout in, run on the field, then come back to the house, have some breakfast. Usually spend a few minutes with the kids there, then head out. I have a little gym at my house. Head out to the gym and get a workout in. So depending on the day, upper, lower, combination, recovery, could be yoga, could be Pilates, something like that. And then usually by that time, it's getting close to lunch. Spend a little bit of time with the kids, have some lunch, whatever that may be. My wife's really holding down the cooking. I think she's probably sick of cooking because she cooks every meal, but she does a great job and keeps us all fed and happy. So have some lunch. And then in the afternoon, kind of just depends what the day is. It's projects around the house. I'm a guy who can't really sit still and not do anything. So I don't really watch much TV or movies or anything like that during the day. I'm a guy who has to do something. So it's either, working on some football, watching some tape, going over a playbook, or if I have anything around the house, like one thing I'm working on right now is hanging up a pull-up bar in my gym. So trying to get that all squared away and up. Of course, I'm no pro, so it's taking me multiple trips to pick up supplies and recut wood and stuff like that. So definitely could happen faster, but I'm getting it done and enjoying, the family time along with just being able to, start preparing for 2020 season.
Buck Rising.
Hey, Ryan, hope you guys are well. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to talk yet with the new quarterback, Cole McDonald, if you've had any opportunity to see any of him, just kind of your initial impressions, and if you've had a chance to talk with him yet.
Yeah, I texted a little bit with him. I text all the guys when we drafted him, just kind of, welcome to the team and reach out if I can help in any way. I'd love to help out. But yeah, I texted with him a little bit. Excited to have him in the room. I know he's a guy who played a lot of football at a high level out there, threw for a ton of yards, and really athletic guy. I think he's the fastest guy at the combine. So I think he'll fit in our room nicely, and looking forward to working with him.
Emily Proud from Channel 2.
Hey there. Are you putting any extra weight on your shoulders from a leadership standpoint, just given the unique circumstances as far as reaching out to rookies and making sure everybody's ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if it's extra weight, but it's just something that goes along with playing the position. It's something last year I kind of had to take a step back from initially for a big stretch there in the off season and the first part of the season, which was different for me. So I was kind of taking a step back and figuring out the role where, this year I just kind of get to be myself, be the leader that I am, and hopefully bring guys together and elevate their play.
So we've got a writer from Kansas City, Perez, who's joining us. He's got a question for you.
Hey, Ryan, congrats on the new deal, and thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, obviously the media kind of ran wild with the Tom Brady to the Titans speculation. And then you just get signed to a lucrative new deal, right on the tail end of that. What was that like for you, kind of hearing the speculation during that process, man?
Yeah, I really didn't know, what was going to happen. Obviously I knew we were in negotiations and kind of working on it, but you don't know as a player, you don't know if those things are real, if they're, trying to play both sides of the coin or what. I just tried to, stay true to the things I believed in and lean on the people that I love and just trying to trust the process. I knew if they wanted me back, then we were going to get it worked out. And if they wanted to sign Tom, then they probably would have signed Tom. So, I try not to lean or listen too much to it. Obviously I was aware of the situation. I knew it could be happening, but I wasn't, sitting at home stressed, what could happen, because at that point it's really kind of out of my hands. And I'm thankful the way it worked out. I was excited to be back. I wanted to be back. I like the guys and I love the guys on the team. I like the direction that this program is headed up, what we did last year, and how I think we can build on that, going into my year 2 with this team. So obviously excited to be back, but yeah, I wouldn't say that it was nerve-wracking day by day or anything like that.
Chris Harris from Channel 4.
Yeah, hey Ryan, good to see you, man. I was just wondering, in a sport that's just so regimented schedule-wise, where you do X and you do Y to get to Z, what's this unknown and ambiguity like for you, especially at your position?
It's strange, no doubt about it. It's strange. It's weird not being able to be in the building and spend the time around the coaching staff and the guys. Really missing that aspect right now. I always look forward to getting back in the building and spending time around the guys and just coming together. And I'm not able to do that right now, so it's strange. But I think Coach Vrabel and Art and really guys have really bought into what we're allowed to do, and that's all virtual. But trying to make the best of the situation, do the best we can with what we've been given. So really trying to learn in these meetings. Have some fun talking with each other, but then also really kind of buckle down and detail things that we started last year can build on this year.
Terry McCormick.
Ryan, you talked about having thrown a little bit with John New, who's down there in South Florida with you, but overall getting to work with the receivers and whatnot this offseason, if that doesn't come to pass, what are some of the things you can do to try to get caught up on that and make sure that timing stays crisp once are reassembled? Yeah,
I mean, as soon as we're able to kind of get back together, I think we'll do that. And thankfully, like I said, we have a bunch of guys that are coming back, and we're pretty familiar with each other. So not a whole lot of new learning to do as far as learning guys' body and how they come in and out of cuts. It's just kind of, getting back on the same page. So of course that'll take a little bit of time. Hopefully, this thing doesn't last too long. We can get back to that sooner rather than later.
Johnny Franks.
Nope.
Joe Rexrode.
Yeah, Ryan. Hey, I wanted to ask you about Corey Davis. Big year for him. What do you think, he could do? How do you think his role could expand this year, and just, maybe even your chemistry with him grow?
Yeah, I definitely think my chemistry will grow with Corey this year. Such a talented guy. I mean, we all seen him make big time plays and made a bunch of big plays for us last year. But, I think that he's such a talented guy and has so much to bring to the table. Obviously looking forward to building on what we started last year and our rapport, and look forward to him making some big plays for us, because I know he has the talent. I've seen him make the plays, and really excited to, see him just keep growing and make those plays in 2020.
Thanks, Ryan.
Eric Backrack.
Hey, Ryan, hope you're doing well. I'm curious, how much does an offseason where you're the starter and everyone knows you're the starter, how much does that benefit you going into the season, just in terms of preparation and knowing what to expect?
I think it just clears things up. I think leadership-wise, it makes things a lot simpler for me. I can just kind of be who I am and help guys along the way I like to. It's not figuring out a new role or anything like that, and charting into unknown territory. I just kind of get to really just buckle down and try to dig deeper into this offense, the details of it, and then also just be myself as a leader and try to help our guys all grow.
Paul Koharski.
Hey, Ryan, I'm wondering, good to see you. I'm wondering how, given the circumstances, you can lead from afar and not assembled. You've got this off season, like Eric was just talking about, with a chance to be the starter from the start, but with the guys not assembled. How can you kind of assert yourself as a leader with some guys leaving and stuff, where you can establish that from afar via Skype and all this kind of stuff?
Right. Of course, it's tougher. It's tougher at a distance, either looking through a screen or text message, phone call, FaceTime. But I think it all starts with communication, just being able to communicate with guys, build that relationship. And then when we are on a Zoom call, when we are talking football, then I'm able to just really voice my vision for a play, voice my opinion on the play, how I like guys to run the route, and just be clear so that we're all on the same page. I think as a backup, a lot of times couldn't do that. You couldn't say your opinion or how you wanted the guy to run the route. You just kind of had to just kind of go with the flow and bite your tongue a lot of times. So really being able to be more clear and more detailed with guys on how we can run things and create more separation.
You find it possible to do that in these Zoom meetings and stuff even?
Yeah, no doubt. Art does a great job of, allowing me to speak up, and, if I interrupt him to say something, of course, he doesn't get upset by that or anything like that. He encourages it. He wants me to communicate to these guys. And at the end of the day, the more trust that a quarterback has in the guys running the routes, then the better we're going to be. So, if I can communicate exactly what I want and they're able to do that and put their own flavor on it, then, we're going to be in better shape.
Thank you.
Luke?
Hey, Ryan, I want to ask you two quick questions about the logistics of having the virtual meetings. First of all, as a quarterback, what do you try to get out of all of this?
I don't know, several things. I think it's It's the same as a meeting in the building. The same stuff you're trying to get out of the meetings you have in the building, you're trying to get out of these Zoom meetings. You know, it's getting back with the offense, detailing out plays. Obviously, we're making some changes on some things and being able to communicate those to the guys. And like I said just a few minutes ago, just being able to communicate exactly what I want on a certain route or a release or at the top of a route. Same stuff we're doing in a traditional meeting when we're sitting in a room together. We're doing the same thing here, just not face to face, through a screen.
And then secondly, you know, Kevin Byard was talking about, you know, maybe someone's dog starts barking in the middle of the conversation or whatever. What are some of the challenges that come with the digital meetings?
Yeah, it definitely presents some different challenges. You know, you got connections that can go in and out or background noise. You know, I think we really kind of picked it up quickly. You know, we did a test meeting last week I did with the guys just to make sure that everyone had an account set up and knew how to kind of navigate the program. And then, you know, once we kind of jumped into it this week, you know, we figured out pretty quickly it works best if, you know, everyone stays on mute and it eliminates all the background noise. And if you want to speak, we can unmute and speak. But I think guys have really done a good job of being professional about it. And, you know, I think learning and growing from these meetings.
Teron.
How's it going, Ryan? Hope everything's well. In the absence of being able to have a passing camp, if that is something that you can't do, have you put any thought into spending time with the guys, just watching film, just to be able to get on the same page as far as, like, if they give us this look, I want you to go here, et cetera? Is that something that you've considered?
Yeah, no doubt. Once we get a little deeper into this thing, as far as going through the offseason, installing the plays, and I'll be able to, you know, have a little extra time to spend with our receivers and watch tape virtually, you know, just me and them. And then, you know, hopefully, like I said, sooner rather than later, we can, you know, get face to face and actually throw to each other.
We're going to give Johnny one more shot, see if he can jump in here.
Hey, Ryan, looking back, what did you learn about yourself last year as your role changed during the course of the season?
What did I learn about myself? I don't know. I don't know what I learned about myself. You know, I think, you know, I try to do the best I can with every situation that I'm given. You know, when I was in the backup role, I tried to do the best I could at supporting Marcus, at being prepared to play, and at preparing the defense to go play on Sundays by giving the best look I possibly could, you know, on scout team. So nothing really changes. Is just what you're doing changes, but your thought process and what you're trying to do doesn't change. As far as, all right, now I'm in the starting position. Now I'm going to prepare the best I can to go win a football game. I'm going to try to make the guys around me elevate their play and lead. You know, I think what you do can change, but your goal, you know, I think doesn't change. You know, you just try to do the best you can with the situations you're given, and if you do that, then you know you have nothing to look back on and regret.
Okay, we got two left. Paul had a follow-up, and then John's got a follow-up. Glennon.
You mentioned Arthur inviting you to kind of interrupt. Kevin said on the defensive side, they're simply in position groups. Are you just talking quarterbacks right now, or are you in any kind of bigger meetings at this stage?
Yeah, we're doing quarterbacks and receivers at this point. So we have, I think, 7 or 8 receivers on there, along with quarterbacks and coaching staff, receivers, coaches, art, and quarterback coach. So we have a decent-sized group there, but just trying to, like I said, talk through routes, talk through everything, and just get on the same page. And then at some point, we'll start meeting a little bit more with, you know, running backs and tight ends and O-line as we expand.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Glennon will finish us up.
Sure. Yeah, Ron, I wanted to ask you about, you know, Logan Woodside as things stand right now, you know, as the backup quarterback. You've got a bit of a chance to see him, you know, last year. What are your thoughts and impressions on Logan? And, you know, is it realistic to think he could be a number 2 for an NFL team?
Yeah, no doubt. I have a ton of confidence in Logan. He's grown so much, just in my time, here with the Titans. From when I came in the spring, he's been nothing but attentive and hungry to grow and get better. And, I saw him do that over the course of the year. Did a great job of helping me out, helping Marcus out in any way we needed, and really just get better on the mental side. Once he went on IR, he wasn't able to practice and do it physically, but he was growing mentally. I could see him growing. The questions he was asking, the notes he was taking, just got better and better as the year went on. And obviously got to see what he could do in training camp last year. And so definitely a talented guy who's can make all the throws and put the ball accurately where he wants to put it. And now seeing over the course of the last year, the mental aspect of his game grow so much. So I'm really excited to see him get back on the field and watch him play.
All right. All good. Appreciate it, Ryan.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan Tannehill there live via Zoom. Thank you very much. Meeting with the media in Nashville. Of course, they're all over the place right now, but good to see Ryan Tannehill's face. Looking to improve on a season where he won Comeback Player of the Year. You remember he tore his ACL in Miami in 2017, and he comes to Tennessee, and he earns Comeback Player of the Year, led Tennessee to the AFC title game. The Titans were 2-4 last season with Marcus Mariota as the starter before making the switch to Tannehill, including the playoffs. Tennessee went 9-4 rest of way, appeared in the AFC Championship. With Tannehill, the Titans averaged 29 points per game. That's fifth most in the league. You can see his numbers here as Comeback Player of the Year. Completion percentage, 70%, third in the NFL. Yards per attempt, nearly 10 yards, first in the league. And his passer rating near 118. Ryan Tannehill looking to improve on a Comeback Player of the Year season in 2020 with the Titans as he remains on a 4-year, $118 million deal. CBS Sports HQ continues after the break.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.